So the Scaling Circularity project is really about setting up a classification system for garment recycling. It's a collaboration between the University of the Arts London and the Circular Textile Foundation, who both have a wealth of experience in working with brands on design for recyclability and really trying to encourage that shift in the market. And this tool is really aimed at designers in brands to help produce products that can be recycled in the future and ultimately stop them going into landfill.
So through our ongoing work with workshops and project work, we've identified that brands actually have a relatively large amount of clothing that is already recyclable and clothing that can be designed to be recycled, so design changes made to those garments so that they can work within recycler parameters and then recycled at end of life. But really the gap is identifying what those garments are, looking at a whole brand's inventory and working out how we can transition those garments, so what design changes need to be made so those garments can be recycled at end of life.
We are developing a standardized method for brands to label their entire inventory against 3 levels of recyclability: ready to certify, in need of redesign, or complex to redesign. This will give pointers to focus their recyclability strategies and achieve most impacts.
The Scaling Circularity project has resulted in a proof of concept method for the classification of product inventory against recyclability criteria. So this means that we have used a very specific data set from a partner brand that has really helped us understand where the challenges for availability of data would be, looking at fibre composition, at the presence of trims that could act as disruptors for different types of recycling technology. Using all those insights, we've developed this standard method that can be used as a recommendation to help brands really understand where hotspots across their product inventory are situated and help them take immediate action for recyclability.
So the Scaling Circularity project is really important. It's enabling us to determine where we go to in a brand's portfolio of product. If you know where the problem is, you can start to identify ways and means of tackling it. So from our perspective, we want to make clothing recyclable. Well, if you already know that there's recyclable clothing within a brand's portfolio, well, that's obviously the place to start, because we can work with that and we can start building out what needs to change within the next section, which is the slightly harder to recycle product, and decide, well, that's where we go to next. So that, I think, is why data is going to be so important, and understanding where that data is coming from.